Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I am your host. I'm your host. I am your host, Jay Nixon, and I am excited to be here today, guys. Today we have a big note-taking opportunity. Today's the day you're going to want to listen to this podcast multiple times because I am going to give you some strategies and some techniques today that you are going to want to write down and you are going to want to take action on. As you know, the purpose of the Thrive Forever Fit Show is to disrupt the way you think, inspire you to think differently, and give you the tools. And today we're going to give you those tools to transform into the person that you deserve and desire to be. Now, you also know we talk about the fundamental five or the foundational five on this particular podcast. It's fitness, food, family, finances, and faith, right? If any of those topics resonate with you, this is the show for you. And today, the lesson, the techniques, the tips that I'm going to give you are going to hit all five of those bases. You're going to be able to use today's podcast, I'm not even calling today's a podcast. This is a teaching opportunity. This is a learning opportunity today. I promise you, if you listen until the end and you take the strategies that I give you today, and today's podcast is called this, guys. It's called Temptation, Gratification, Regret, Repeat. Think about that for a second. Isn't that what everyone is really struggling with? I mean, temptations are everywhere. We all have temptations in life. Do you succumb to those temptations? If you do, that is where the instant gratification of our world, it's always been that way, but today more than ever, like we're an instant gratification society. So temptation arises, instant gratification kicks in. A few minutes later, if not in the exact moment of the second later, we have regret. And then, unfortunately, we repeat that same behavior over and over and over and over again. You guys know, if you've listened to me at all, I am a problem solution guy, meaning I don't like to dwell on shit. I like to find the problem and I like to create a solution for that problem. Better yet, I don't even like to call them problems. I look at problems as opportunities. A problem is an opportunity to get better. If I can solve a problem, that gives me the opportunity to get better. So I'm an opportunity solution guy. And today I'm going to give you the solutions for overcoming this repetitive, damaging, bad behavior of temptation, gratification, regret, repeat. So in this episode, guys, I'm going to actually show you how it's your neural pathways that you've created over the years that are the reasons you keep repeating the same bad behaviors. And of course, like I said, I'm going to give you the strategies and techniques to actually correct and rewire your brain so that you don't continue to do the same negative things over and over and over again. Here's the $1 million question. Everybody asks this question probably on a daily basis. Why do I keep doing things even though I know they're bad for me? So let's break that down. Let's get really granular. People with food, they say, why do I keep eating those cookies even though I know they're bad for me? Why do I keep eating those chips even though I know they're bad for me? Why do I keep overeating even though I know it's killing me? I know it's making me obese. Why do I have to have that bread? Why do I think about all the things we say that for? Food's just one of the examples. We do it with our fitness. Like, we don't go to the gym, right? We don't do the things we want to do. We do it with our relationships. We do it with our money. We do it with everything, right? Why do we keep doing things even though we know they're bad for us? And the answer is this. It's your brain's fault. Think about that for a second. It is your brain's fault. I mean, it's your fault collectively, right? Because you're the owner of your brain, your body and you and your thoughts and your everything they're all encompassed. But if you really want to get granular, if you really want to get to the root of the problem, it's your brain. And if we even want to take it deeper than that, it's the neural pathways, the neural responses that you've created over the years that have created these bad outcomes. Now, really, let's get super clear here. All a neural pathway is temptation happens, I do this. So a neural pathway is the process of why you do what you do. And so as you guys have heard me say multiple times, all we are as humans are a system and a repetitive behavioral mechanism of patterns, thoughts, behaviors, habits, beliefs. It's all part of our neural system, all part of our neural pathway. So really, it's your brain's fault. And here's what it really boils down to. It has to do with the neural pathways that get created as we do things. I've got copious notes today, guys, because today's episode is so important. I'm telling you, this isn't even like a podcast. This is a training I would do for some of my private clients. So it has to do with the neural pathways that get created as we do things. When we do something right, a neural pathway gets created. Unfortunately, the pathway also gets created when we do something that's destructive or wrong. So the reason we keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again is because we slip back into our default setting, and your default setting is nothing more than an existing neural pathway. Think about this for a second. When this happens, I do this. When this happens, I do this. That is your behavior all day long. You do the same things repetitively over and over and over and over again. Today, I'm going to show you how, if you have a negative neural pathway, a pathway that you want to change, a pathway that you do not like, I'm going to give you the strategy, the tips, and the techniques today to actually change that bad neural pathway into a positive, more productive neural pathway that gets you the results that you want to get. This is a practical show. And I don't believe in just coming here and giving you a bunch of BS banter. I want to give you actual strategies that you can use to work on your fundamental or your foundational 5 so that you can live the life you deserve and desire to live. It's really that simple. Here's how the process goes from start to finish, guys. Like I said earlier, it's temptation plus gratification plus regret plus repeat. Okay, I'm just going to define these really quick for you. I know you know the definitions of these, but when you hear this, it's going to really trigger the brain to understand what is happening when you go through these negative, behavioral, systematic, over and over and over and over again. Why do I keep doing this even though I know it's bad for me? How many times have you said that? How many times have you heard somebody else say that? Here's what temptation is. Temptation is the desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise. Temptation, the desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise. What's gratification? Gratification is nothing more than pleasure, especially when gained from the satisfaction of a desire. Really, all gratification is succumbing to a desire, succumbing to a temptation. What is regret? We all feel it. Everybody feels regret. Everybody's felt regret. It's to feel sad or disappointed over something that has happened or that has been done. I mean, right? Temptation, instant gratification. Damn it, why do I keep doing that? That's regret. What does repeat mean? We all know this. It's to do something again, either once or a number of times. In most cases, it's a number of times. Repeat equals hundreds, if not thousands of times that you've done the same behavior that is getting you the result. Here's the difference. The result you do not want to get. That's what this is all about. If you have a neural pathway that is positive and that is getting you an outcome that you love, then by all means, do not change that. But if you don't, and you have one that's getting you an outcome that you don't love, then you've got to make some changes for it. And then famously, here's what I like to do. Here's the formula, the mathematical formula that I've created. It's temptation plus gratification plus regret plus repeat equals insanity. Albert Einstein's famous for saying this: the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, I know you may not expect the different result, but if you're saying, why do I keep doing this even though I know it's bad for me, but you keep doing it, quintessentially, that's the definition of insanity. Wouldn't you agree? I would. So here's the power actions, guys. I'm going to give you power action steps today. I'm going to give you 6 of them. 6 power action steps that if you will do in this order, write these down. If you're listening to this while you're driving, listen, keep listening. But when you get home, go back to this place in the podcast. Actually, listen to the whole thing over again. But go back to this place specifically and write down these 6 power action steps. Then don't just write them down. Take action on them. Use them to create the new neural pathways that get you the outcome that you deserve and desire so that you can live the life that you want to live. That's really what this is all about. Number 1, Identify the pattern, right? I mean, that seems super freaking simple. Identify the pattern. This should be really easy. But the only problem is, as humans, we don't like to focus on our flaws. And so if you're not in the moment of the flaw, in the moment of the regret, it might be challenging for you to tap into that pattern. But what I want you to do is I want you to get brutally honest with yourself right now. And I want you to say to yourself, Jay, what is it that I'm doing right now that's not getting me the outcome that I deserve and desire? And tap into that. Identify the pattern. When this happens, I do this, then I feel like this, and then I repeat it over and over and over again. And I know that is insane. I know I have to stop doing that. That's number one. That's the most simplistic step, but it might be one of the most challenging. Number two is identify the hole. And what I mean by that is, what hole, what gap are you trying to fill with the repetitive bad behavior? It could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be psychological, or it could be a combination of all of those. And what I mean by that, the hole of the gap, is most of the time when we have a negative or destructive behavior, it is in relationship with some emotion, some physical feeling, some psychological thing that we have going on, or a combination of multiple things. You've got to be able to be honest with yourself and identify, why am I doing what I'm doing? Right? Get down to the deep, deep, deep layers of, what hole am I trying to fill? Number three is you need to visualize the new outcome. You have to visualize the new outcome. I actually want you to close your eyes and see yourself making the better decision, the more productive decision, when that same temptation arises. When the same temptation shows up, I want you to see yourself, close your eyes, see yourself making the new powerful, powerful, powerful decision. And then I want you to be able to tap into that feeling and that emotion so that you can remember it. You can recall it when it's game time. That's what's going to give you the edge to make this shift, to make that change. Number four is you have to be vulnerable with yourself. It's okay. I mean, hell, it's necessary for you to tap into your levels of vulnerability so you can get maximum value out of this. Now, I don't want you to beat yourself up. Your past behaviors are your past behaviors. What you've done is what you've done. But what's the benefit of beating yourself up about that? What I want you to do is I want you to embrace whatever it is. And then I want you to make the power move. I want you to make the power declaration that you deserve better from yourself. I want you to say it out loud. I deserve better from myself. I deserve this new action step that is going to get me the outcome that I deserve and desire, because I want to live the life I say I want to live. I'm tired of, why do I keep doing that even though I know it's bad for me? I'm sick of that. And today I'm making the declaration that I will no longer behave in that manner, and that old neural pathway will be replaced with this new positive power move. That sounds pretty kick-ass, doesn't it? Number five is this. You've got to take your mask off. I know, listen to me here. I've had to do this myself personally. I'm speaking from personal experience. If you've read my second book, The Purpose of Pain, you know that I wore a mask because I was afraid of who I was. I didn't even know who I was. I was afraid how the world would see me. I was terrified of being vulnerable. But the only way I got better, the only way I got to where I am today is I had to take that mask off, and I had to destroy it, because it was the mask. The mask was what was killing me. The mask was what was holding me back. The mask was what was allowing me to make those same bad behaviors over and over and over again. Once I took that mask off and I destroyed it, my life exponentially changed. This process is going to require brutal honesty with yourself. I had to get brutally honest with myself about how I was behaving, the decisions I was making, the thoughts I was thinking. I had to get ultra honest with myself. And this was tough. This was not an easy process, because I had to see the world the way it really was, instead of through the lens that I had created around the story that I wanted myself to be able to believe. So we all do that. That's what I talked about the hole earlier. Normally the hole we're trying to fill is associated with a story that we tell ourselves to let ourselves off the hook. It's an excuse, for lack of a better term. I had plenty of stories that I allowed myself to believe. I allowed myself to live within so that I could make the excuses, so that I didn't have to work on becoming a better version of myself by filling those holes. It's really what it boiled down to. Was it challenging? 100%. Was it worth it? Hell yes. It's one of the greatest gifts I've ever gave myself. It was a game changer in my personal development. So guys, here's what you have to do. You have to see yourself, you have to accept yourself, and then you have to love yourself. That's going to be challenging for some of you guys to do. I know everybody's saying, oh, I love myself. Do you? You got to really ask yourself, do you really love yourself? For all of you, your BS, your nonsense, your whatever, you've got to be able to love that about yourself. You got to be able to see it, embrace it, and love it so you can change it. If you don't do that, you won't be able to change it because you'll always cover it up. You'll cover it up with some nonsense. So what I want you to do is I want you to see yourself for who you really are. I want you to accept yourself for who you really are. And then I want you to love yourself so that you can make the necessary neural pathway changes to stop making those same bad decisions over and over and over again. Number 6, so important, so freaking important. This is one of the steps that most people don't do. Most people skip number 6, and it's always detrimental to their success. Number 6 is you have to celebrate your success. You have to share your new awareness with your circle of success, with the people you love, with the people that support you, with the people that want to celebrate you. You have to let them embrace the win with you. This will anchor the new behavior and help you cement the new neural pathway that is going to be so deep now into your subconscious brain that the next time that temptation arises, you will not make that bad decision. You will make a power move. You'll make a power decision. There'll be no regret. And then you want to repeat that as many times as you possibly can, right? You have to celebrate that success with the people that you love, with your circle of success, with your coach, with your mentor, but it must be celebrated. You must celebrate that win publicly in some way, shape, or form. Guys, that's it. It's a 6-step process. It's a 6-step process. That's it. Think about it. You're like, shit, Jay, I can do that. Yes, you can. Success is not meant to be hard. Success is not meant to be challenging. Many gurus out there would like you to believe, and I am no guru. Don't put those words in my mouth. I shouldn't even have said the G word. I'm just a dude who sees the world as it is. I'm a dude who's been where you've been. I'm a dude that's been where you are. And I want to help you get out of it. That's simply it. So why would I want to make it more challenging than it has to be? I just laid out the 6 steps that you need to do to stop doing the bad things that you're doing right now that are holding yourself back from getting everything you want. This same system, some guru out there to do the same exact thing is going to charge you $10,000 to come to a retreat, sit in a hut, cross your legs Indian style, have a little smoke going, maybe talk about some chants or some stuff like that, some namastes, some hello J's, some whatever it is, 10 G's. I just gave it to you for free. 6 simple steps, guys. They won't be easy, but they'll be worth it. They're simple, but they're not easy, right? Because you're going to have to do the work. Simple, but not easy. But oh my gosh, so powerful. And if you'll do these, guys, you will no longer succumb to the temptation, right? You will no longer succumb to it. You'll get out of that repetitive negative feedback loop. And that's all it is. Temptation, gratification, regret, repeat is a negative feedback loop. It's a negative neural pathway. I've given you the strategies and the tips and the tools today to replace that negative neural pathway with a positive, powerful neural pathway that gets you what you deserve and desire. That's pretty kick-ass. Oh, cool. That's it, guys. That's that simple, right? It's that freaking simple. Guys, if you loved this episode, which I hope you did, I hope you got some powerful takeaways from this. And I hope you actually implement the strategy that I gave you today. Because if you do, I know you'll be in a different place. And that's all I want for you. I want you to live the life you deserve and desire. If you love this episode, you can do 2 things for me. You can share it, and you can go to iTunes and you can give me a review. That's it. Simple. Freebie. Free. If you love what you're hearing on the podcast and you want more of it, if you just want to be connected in a deeper way, get access to me a little bit closer, I have a free Facebook group called Wellness Lab Launchpad. We talk about the Fundamental 5 and the Wellness Lab Launchpad on a daily basis. It's a beautiful place to be. It's 100% free. Come in, communicate, connect. Let's have some success together. We don't get anywhere in life on our own. We are community-based beings. And if we can do this together, we will get so much further, so much faster. We'll be in such a better place. And man, shouldn't we all win? Don't we all deserve to win? I want you to win. I hope you want me to win. I mean, that's really how the world revolves, right? It's abundance. I believe there's plenty for everybody, and I want to help you get what you want. All right, guys, have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. And we'll talk to you super soon. All right. Bye. Love you.